Hello students, today we are going to start a new series that is beneficial for the students of the class 12 session 2019 and 20. So this is basically for the purpose of the revision. So all the concepts will be explained very briefly, and at the end of this presentation or session we will solve some important CBNC important questions also, and that will be beneficial for you while you will be writing your CBSE examination. So today's topic will be unit 1 and chapter 1 is that is Python data frame and its advanced operations. So today we will discuss what is the pandas library, and then we will see its two data structure, data frame and data series, and its basic operations. So let's get started. Yeah, so we are just starting with the Python pandas. So everyone, I hope this is a revision session and every student has gone through this before. So for the quick definition, I am asking to you, what is the pandas? Pandas is the Python library. It's Python library, and it contains several data analytical tools, data analytical functions and code which you may use directly in your Python code for analyzing the data in a better way. So most popular Python library for data analytics. You can, the two important part of the pandas are series data structure and data frame data structure. As you know that series is a one dimensional data structure. One dimensional means you may have a structure like this. Either you may have one row and multiple columns like this. This is also known as vector. This is also known as vector. One dimensional array or NumPy array, or one dimensional NumPy array is also known as vector. This is a important question from the NumPy array chapter. Sometimes examiner may ask that what is the other name of the one dimensional NumPy array, then you may ask the vector. So series is a one dimensional structure, and data frame is a two dimensional structure. You know two dimensional structure, the structure that contains rows and columns both, then this is known as two dimensional structure. So this is a one dimensional structure and this one is a two dimensional structure. Okay, so data frame is a two dimensional structure, series is a one dimensional structure. While going through this video we will discuss series and data frame in more detail. Here the two important questions may be asked by the CBSE. What is the Python command to install pandas on a computer? So keep that in mind. Pip install pandas is a command that is used to install the pandas on your computer or a fresh machine. How to use the pandas? After installing the pandas, how can we use the pandas in your Python code? So this question may also be asked. What is the code for using import pandas? You can directly write import pandas, or you can write import pandas as PD. So this is the two important questions. CBSE sometime asks these questions, so you should know it in very well what is the command to install the pandas and what is the what is the Python statement to use this pandas library. So let me move ahead. Yeah. So now we will discuss the Python pandas data series in detail. As we have seen in the previous slide also, series is a data structure of pandas and it represents a one-dimensional array of the index data like this. One-dimensional array, it represents a one-dimensional array like this one. Okay, so what is the basic sometimes CBSE ask the question, what is the basic difference between the NumPy array and data series? So what happens in NumPy array? Let's suppose this is NumPy array, then what will be the index? It will always be integer like this. But in case of the series object, the index need not to be integer. It may be integer or it may be some string also, like A, B, C, something like that also possible. This is only possible in series and this is only possible in NumPy array. We can also have the index integer in series. Okay, so this is the basic difference. There are more differences. Another difference you can tell me, like another difference is NumPy array support the vectorized. NumPy array doesn't support, NumPy array supports the vectorized operation. Data series also supports the vectorized operation. Okay. Now what the data series object in Python actually contains? Data series object contains an array of the actual data like this. This is the data series object, like 1, 1, this is 11, let's suppose this is 11, this is let's suppose 12, this is let's suppose 13. So this will be the data and this will be the index. This will be data and this will be the data and this will be the index. So array of actual data and associate array of indexes or the data labels. Associated array of the indexes or data labels means this is the associated array of the indexes. So the combination of these two is represented in the data series object. So the example of data series object is like this. This is a one example of data series in which the index is integer number, and like on 0 index we have 21, on first index we have 23, on second index we have 18, on fourth index we have 25. This is then another example of data series in which we have index as string, like January is index and having the value 31, February is the index having the value 28, March is the index having the value 31, April is the index having the value 30. This is in another example of data series in which a single character we are using as index, like A, B, C, D are the indexes and data is 91, 81, 71, 61. So in these three examples, what is common? These three structures are one dimensional. Data may be varied, the index type may be varied. In this index type is string, in this index type is string with multiple lengths, and this in this index type is integer. But the structure of the data will be always one dimensional. There will not be multiple rows and multiple columns. There will always a index column and data column, and there might be multiple rows. Okay, so how can we create a series object in pandas? We need to first import the pandas. Before creating the series object, you must import the pandas, because importing panda will enable you to write this line. If you don't like the import pandas HPD and you will directly like the pd.series, then the Python will give error. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also in CBSE, sometimes they will ask you create a Python code, write a Python code for creating given data frame, like data series like this. Then you should always write import pandas HPD, because this will also give you a 1 or half mark, because writing this as per the step marking you will get the half mark at least by writing this line. So keep in mind that you should always write this line if a examiner asks to write the code for creating Python data series. Okay. Next line you need to write pd dot series. Then you may pass the dictionary of key value pairs, like this will be the index, this will be value, this will be index, another index, this will be another value, this will be another index, this will be the another value. This is an example of creating the Python data series using dictionary. How can we know that this is dictionary? Because dictionary always opens with like this middle bracket. If anything is enclosed in this means this is the dictionary. So we have created pd dot series, bracket open and middle bracket open, key value pairs, and then we just hold it in some object variable. If we print the object variable, we will be seeing the our data series created in output. As you know that this is the index and these are the corresponding values. Okay, so let me move ahead. Okay, so here we will discuss some more examples of pandas data series. So like this is another example of creating data series. We need to import pandas, import numpy only if we need. In this example we need the numpy for creating this array. So we might be having some like this code np dot array. I don't have actually pen, so it is very difficult to write using mouse. So something like this is there, like 31 comma like 28 comma 31 comma 30 comma something like that is already written. I have forget to write in PPT, so I have to write here again something. This line is already inserted before executing this line. Okay, so this array object is becoming the data and this index object will become a index. Similarly we can write mon equals to np dot array and open bracket, and then you will write January, February, March, similarly whatever we have written here, and then you will pass this array and Monday mon in this data series function, and by executing this line you will be able to create this object in which the indexes will be this. Whatever we pass in this index equals to line will become the index of this data series object. Like we are passing this January, February, March, April, so it is becoming the index, and np dot array, and in array data equals to array. That means we are passing some data into this array, so this data will become the actual data of associated with these indexes. So 31 is the first value, so it will come on 31. 28 is the second value, so it will come here. 31 is the third value, so it will come here, and so on. So this is the example of how can we create a numpy panda data series using numpy array. Okay, another example is like that. Import pandas is common, import numpy is common. You know the np dot arrange method. Arrange method takes 3 arguments, start starting with 9. Second argument is stop. Second argument is stop, and third argument is step. Third argument is sooner I am going to purchase a pen, after that the quality of your videos will become more precise, because I am writing using mouse, so it is difficult. So NP dot arrange, we are passing 9 as a start value, 13 as a stop value, and step, if we don't pass the step, then it will always be default is 1. So it will return the index positions as 9, 10, 11 and 12. Why 12 only? Because arrange function always return the values up to stop minus 1. If you are passing the stop 13, then it will generate the number from 9 to 12 only. So 9, 10, 11, 12 will become the index, because we are passing it this a value, this a numpy array into this index argument. That's why it has become the index of the data series object, right? And data equals to a star star 2. What is the meaning of a star star 2? If this is the a, then what will be the a star star 2? You know this a star star 2, because as you know that numpy array supports the vectorized operations. That's why the star star operator will square the each value that we have stored in this a array. So a array has 9, 10, 11, 12. So a star star 2 will become 81. 9 square is 81, comma 10 square is 100. So this will become 100. Then 11 square is what? 1, 2, 1, and 12 square is 1, 4, 4. So this will be the value of a star star 2. So data is becoming a star star 2 and index is becoming 9, 10, 11, 12. That means the value is stored in a, and value stored in a star star 2 will become the value. So that's why this series object looks like this: 9, 9, then 81, 10, 100, 11, 121, and then 12, 144. Is that clear? So let me move ahead. Yeah. Now we will see some more examples, more functions of the data series. Here we are covering only the important topics, okay, because it is a revision session. So we are covering only the some portion of your book which is very important for the CBSE examination. So head and tail functions, many times they may ask. So head function is basically used to fetch the value first n rows from a pandas object. From a pandas object. Why I am saying pandas object? Because this function is applicable both for data frame and data series. That's why we are writing here pandas object, not writing the series object, right? So head and tail function both are available for both data frame and data series. Head function will return the top n rows from the pandas object. If we don't pass the value n in head function, then by default it will return top 5 values, and similarly tail function returns the n rows from the last, from the bottom. It will return last 5 rows if we don't pass anything into this function, and if we pass n like tail 6, then it will return last 6 values. okay, from the bottom. If we don't pass any argument in tail function, then it will by default return last 5 values, and if we don't pass any value in head function, then it will return top 5 values, and if you pass some argument in head function, then it will return like 6 is passed, so it will return top 6 values from the data series object. Like this is the series object. So what will be the output of s1 dot head? S1 dot head will output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then as this is the data series object, so data will come in front of these 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D, E. So why this that much only? Because we are using head function without argument. So top 5 rows will be displayed. If we execute this code s1 dot head 6, then what will be the output? Top 6 rows. What are the top 6 rows? This will also include. This will also include in the output if we are executing the second line. What will be the output if we use the s1 dot tail? S1 dot tail will fetch the last 5 rows. So what are the last 5 rows? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So what will be the value? 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. These are the last 5 rows. So what will be the value of the 10? It will be j, value of the 9 will be ai, value of the 8 will be h, value of the 7 will be g, value of the 6 will be f. So this will be the output of the s1 dot tail. And if you execute s1 dot tail, then what will be the output? We will include one more value from the bottom, 5e. So this is the output of the head and tail functions. Let me move ahead. Is that clear? Yeah. If you have any doubt, just note down the slide code and write me on this email ID. I will get to you. So now we are going to start the another important concept, data frame. As we have already discussed, data frame is a two-dimensional structure. Like it will have some rows, it will have some columns. So this is the example of the data frame. You can see this is the example of data frame. Data frame is also a data structure of pandas. It represents a 2D array of the index data. It has two main components: array of the actual data. Array of the actual data will be filled like this. This might be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like this, 11, 12. So let's suppose this is the data we are continuing. Okay, so this is the actual data. Array associated arrow of indexes of data label for rows. There will be an index for the rows. As you are noticing that this is the 0 index, this is the 1 index, this is the 2 index, this is the 3 index, this is the 4 index. For every row there will be a index. Similarly, unassociated array of indexes for the data labels for columns. There will be another. In the data series we will only have the index for the rows, but in the data frame we will have the index for columns also. Like this is 0 column, this is 1 column, this is 2 column, this is 3 column, this is 4 column, and so on. So we will have this data frame with the actual values. These are the values. This is the column index, this is the row index. Okay, so you know, if you are familiar with data frame, you know what is the position of this particular cell. How can we calculate? We just find out the row number. What is the row number? 1. So 1, then bracket, then what is the column number? 4. So this can be also written like this: If you have attended my class, you might be knowing this like this. We can also write this like this code and this code will do same thing. There will be no difference. First row and fourth column. Similarly, if you want to access this location, how can we write the code? This is the second row, so we will write this like this. This is the second row, comma, which column? First column. So like this we can write. So this and this will be do same thing. Okay, either you can represent like this or you can represent like this. So this is the basics of the data frame. Data frame is two-dimensional labeled array, ordered collection of columns where columns can store different kinds of data like we are storing there. And 2D array is a collection of row and column. These are known as rows. What is this? These are known as rows. What is this? These are known as rows. And what are these? These are known as columns. What is this? These are known as columns. Okay, so these are columns, these are rows. So keep that in mind. These are the basics of the data frame. Let me move ahead. Okay, we will see how can we create a data frame object using Python code. So we have just seen the concept, what is data frame. So there are multiple ways to create the data frame. There are 4 ways: using 2D dictionary, using 2D ND array, using series object, and using another data frame object. So these are the 2 important concepts. Most probably the questions from the examination will be asked from these tools. So these two are very important. Most of the times in examples we will be using these 2 methods for creating the data frame. These 2 you should know for general purpose. Questions asking probability is very low, but God knows it might be asked, but so I will cover that also. So how can we create, like for data series, what we write for creating series object? Pd dot series. Pd dot series. Similarly, for creating the data frame, we will write pd dot data frame. Then you will pass a 2D structure here like we pass in the series object. Then we will pass the column index and then we will pass the row index. So similar way, like in series object, what we pass here, we pass the data and comma index we directly pass in series object, because series doesn't have the column indexes. But in data frame we have the column index and row index both, as we have discussed in previous slide. Data frame look like this, and in previous slide we have seen that data frame has row label like this row might be A, this is might be A, B, C, and this might be some different index like X, Y and Z, let's suppose. So there might be different, so like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So look like this. So this is the A, B, C are the row indexes and X, Y, Z are the column indexes. So keep that in mind. So we will pass the column index separately and the row index separately, and this data also as a part of 2D data structure. So this is how we can create a 2D data frame. We will see one by one these 4 methods in the subsequent slide. Okay, so here you will see creating a data frame using 2D dictionary. 2D dictionary will look like this. So this is like A is let's suppose index, and then we will have like this. like it has 1, 2, 3 like this. Then we will have the comma, we will have like this another list object. Let's suppose 4, 5, 6. This will be look like this. So this is example of the dictionary. So here as we know that for creation of the data frame and series, what we need to do, we need to first import this, then we will create a dictionary. This is the key. This is the student name: Pratibha, Ritika, Soumya, Aryan, Keshwam, Priyanka. Then we have the comma here, this comma is shown here. Then marks key, and then these are the values. So Pratibha got 69 marks, Ritika got 65 marks, Soumya got 64 marks, and so on. Similarly, we have the sports played by these students. Pratibha plays TQ and Ritik plays table tennis, Soumya plays KB, and Aryan plays VB, and so on. So after creating the dictionary, what we will do, we will just write this line: pd dot data frame, and then we pass the dictionary, and then we will print this data frame. So if we don't pass the index and column argument, then by default index will become the integer like this, and what will become the column? So the key of this 2D dictionary will become the column. So like students will be the first column, then values will come like this. Second, marks will be the second column, and this will be the values like this. Sports will be the third column, and these are the values. So column will become the key of the dictionary. So these are the key: students, marks, and sports are the keys of the dictionary. So keys of the dictionary will become the column index, and we haven't passed the row index. So row index will become the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as per the count of these values. Okay. So this is an example of creation of a data frame using 2D dictionary. Another example we are seeing here: if you want to change this index, like some students want that this index should be look like this, Roman number 1, 2, 3, or some student might be seeing that they want to change it with A, B, C, D, or any number or anything. Then what need to do? We need to pass the index as our custom value. If we will pass the index as our custom value, then pd dot data frame, then dictionary, this dictionary object will remain same, comma, index. If we are not passing this index, the index will become 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. If we are passing this index, the passed index will be displayed in the output. So keep this in mind. Okay. So let me move ahead. Okay. Now we will see the creation of data frame using 2D array. We know how can we create a 2D NumPy array. If you don't know, then you should revise the NumPy array chapter. Import the pandas. We know import the NumPy. Then np.array. This is the 2D array. You know, in 1D array we will have the code like this, like 1, 2, 3. This is the example of 1D array. And what is the example of 2D array? This is the example of 2D array, like 1, 2, 3, then bracket close, then comma, then we will have 4, 5, 6. So this is a 2D NumPy array. If you want to create this kind of questions is asked into the some important examination, so listen very carefully. np.array, then we will pass the 2D array here, and then 2D list, and then type is np.int32. After that we will pass this 2D structure into np.dataframe, np.ary, as we have passed in previous example here dict, because last time we were passing the 2D dictionary. Now we are passing the array because we are creating the same data frame using 2D array. So this is the 2D array and we are passing it here. So the data frame will become look like this. So data frame will look like this. This will be look like this. Yeah. So these are the indexes. These are the row indexes 0 and 1, and these are the column indexes 0, 1, comma 2, and actual values will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be like this. Now we will see one more example. If any student want to change the label of columns, like any student wants to display here 1, here 2, here 3, then what needs to be do? What we need to do? Well, in last slide we have seen that we need to pass the columns equals to 1, 2 and 3. if we will pass 1, 2, 3 in column, then this 1 will display here, this 2 will display here, and this 3 will display here, and other things will remain as it is, because we haven't changed the row index, we have changed on the column index. If you want to change the 0, 1 with some other value, we need to pass the index argument as AB. So if we are passing AB as index, then A will become this index and B will become this index. And as we are passing both arguments, so this 1, 2, 3 is also displaying, and this AB is also displaying as a row label and column label, या फिर column index or row index, and values will remain like this. And an array contains these values as we have seen from here. So this is the example of creation of the 2D array using creation of the data frame using 2D array. Now let me move ahead. Okay, so we will see another way creation of the data frame using another data frame. So this is very simple. We have created a simple data frame here, we have taken from the last video, and now if you want to create another DTF2 from using this DTF data frame object, then we will simply pass this data frame object into another pd.dataframe code like this, pd.dataframe DTF, and then DTF2 will display, then these two objects will be similar. So this is how you can create the data frame using another data frame. Okay. As this chapter is very long, so we will create 2 to 3 videos for this chapter data frame. So I am, because the video will be very long, so I am terminating this here. I am ending this session. I will create 2 more videos for discussing this pandas data frame and data series and its advanced operation. If you have any doubt in this video, you can just identify the slide in which you have doubt, then write down the slide number, that is the slide number. On each slide you will be able to find this, identify that and write it in the subject of this email, and then you will write your problem in body of the email and send it to here. If you have any suggestion regarding this class, you may send it to me here. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.